United, Chelsea game, FCM derby. It's one of those interesting games where, for me personally, being a Chelsea fan, I don't get nervous, but I get a bit. Old Trafford, those nights, that stadium, not good memories, man. I think it's 13 games we failed to beat you there.
Yeah.
Damn.
Really, 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 really bad record there. I think from my perspective early on, if we're going straight into it, because obviously we've got a lot to discuss away from this game, it kind of felt like that's how that game played out. It wasn't a entertaining spectacle. It was a game where I thought the team that I believe are the better team play like they weren't, because they've got this thing over their head of, we don't win here. 1-1 was the final score. Of course, Bruno Fernandes, penalty, Moises Caicedo, goal. Yeah, man, I think thinking of that game, as a Chelsea fan, I'm being honest here, it's weird. We've gone above Arsenal because we drew. We're above Arsenal goal difference.
Swear.
Mm.
Babs. What going?
They're creeping. They're creeping.
Babs.
Yeah,
shame.
Listen, yeah.
So
Yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. We'll get into that.
we've gone
We're in
above.
the mud, bro.
We've gone above Arsenal, but the
Yeah, we get it.
the difficulty is, it's one of those games where if you look in the calendar, we got no joy from Ten Hag. When the Ten Hag split was getting passed around, we got no joy. We now have to go to OT when there's a new manager bounce. Like, how unlucky are we getting it?
Like,
come on, man.
Unlucky, man.
Come on, man.
You're unlucky, bro.
I thought after the West Ham game, I thought, yeah, you know what? That's free zip. We're going to go there, collect free. Not to happen. I thought you lot were actually better in terms of like your structure.
Yeah,
like,
probably, maybe a little bit.
comparatively to what I've seen from you guys. I thought there was a bit more spirit to you guys. I don't think we made it too difficult, in all honesty, but there was this sort of, especially from the result you got midweek. There's definitely players that are playing for some sort of like, if the new manager's watching, I've got to international break to show myself something. I thought Rashford in glimpses showcased what it's about. I thought Garnacho wasn't at the races, but again, he kept busy. I thought, again, there wasn't this disparity in your shape where there was just acres of space for us to operate in. I thought you guys double-teamed Palmer really well. You marshaled him out of the game a lot. He could have done more to get into the game, but there was parts where it was like, it's clear that if we put two guys here, he has to pass backwards. You guys did what you needed to do. We just couldn't do more.
Nah, do you know what? I think,
From my opinion, anyway.
I think you're giving us a lot of credit. You know what I mean? I think, honestly, that could have been the worst top 6 game I've ever seen in my life. If you even want to call Man United a top 6 team, do you know what I mean? That was a very, very bad game. Like, in terms of big 6, it was bad. Passing was bad. The control, touches was bad. Both teams were lackluster. It was pedestrian. You know what I mean? The crowd was flat, both sides. I don't think it was a great game in any way. Yeah, maybe Man United defended a little bit better than we normally would. You know, there was half chances that Chelsea may have had that could have turned into like big chances if Ten Hag was there. But overall, the quality was poor. And honestly, like, United, after what we've been serving up, we can just walk away with it like, okay, cool, we got a point. But honestly, I'm looking at it from a Chelsea side, for a team that's meant to be flying and they've been impressing people and saying that we're coming, and they were absolutely dreadful. Yeah. If that was Arsenal, if that was Liverpool, if that was City, we're getting packed up there. 3-0. Chelsea were terrible, bro. And I don't even know how you can even think like it was maybe because of us and that Chelsea came out and were poor. I thought Caicedo was very good. I thought Lavia was good as well. But other than that, I mean, I think you're giving us a lot of credit. I think you guys as a team were very poor. And us as well, I don't think we were great either. Towards the end, we started getting a little bit of chances. But it was we're snatching at it now, and just the overall quality. Because I know my team's quality is really bad. Like, we have really low quality. But Chelsea, you guys have quality in the team. And for what you guys served up,
PU. That's
what I'm saying.
That right hand side as well, as in PU. That stunk.
Yeah,
brother.
Like, that's what I thought. I think it was. I was disappointed. I thought, Chelsea are going to proper. You know what I mean?
He's got to put it as well, because you can't really say it's a new manager bounce. Because Rude's like an assistant. He was there before.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
No, but there's definitely a change.
But I think he's kind of making an excuse there.
No, it's never an excuse.
I don't know, man. Like,
it's more so like
he's got a point. I think the quality and the form that you guys have been in. I get you've been knocked out the Carabao Cup, but in the league as well, chance to really go clear of Arsenal. I know right now we're above some goal difference and really close the gap on the other teams as well. There's a great chance to go to Old Trafford, make a statement, show your real serious side. It was a lackluster performance. He's right. And
that's what I said.
And I think for Chelsea, I think it was a bigger opportunity than it was for United. And I think the whole new manager bounce thing, I'm not on that train right now because it's Ruud van Nistelrooy. Like, he was there with Ten Hag as well. What's really changed?
And let's be honest, like walking into the game, I saw Matisse. We're gonna talk
we
soon.
see that,
I saw man talking about we're gonna get on 4. We're gonna do worse than what Liverpool did, a minimum of what Spurs did. They were talking all of that, and then for this to come up and serve that. I mean, don't write checks that your players can't. You know what I mean? Trying to cash checks that players can't deliver. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So I actually genuinely think, as I said, with Manchester United's quality, it's been what we've been serving up this season in terms of offensively. Yes, defensively, okay, we're a little bit more sound. Garnacho, still inconsistent, still going to make trash decisions like he's been doing all season. Rashford, still inconsistent. Højlund, still not holding up the ball and offering much. It's the same thing for us going forward. Ugarte passing it to the opposition 90% of the time. Same thing with Bruno. Same thing with Casemiro. It's the same thing that we served up. I'm thinking Chelsea should be coming there and showing people like, hey, we're not on the same level right now. Where you guys are and where we are, different planets right now. And I was looking at it and I was like, halfway through the game, I was like, Chelsea are kind of ass, bro. You know, kind of ass.
It was like you started the game half decent, I felt like, as well, kind of initially. But then it just kind of fizzled into a mid-off, almost. It felt like both teams giving the ball away.
There was a lack of cutting edge.
Yeah.
There was a lack of cutting edge.
It was just kind of weird to watch to see which team is going to give it away next, if that makes sense. I thought your right-hand side today was just abysmal. I thought Gusto was basically an open door, basically, down that side. I thought Madueke, the amount of time, how many times are you going to lose the ball and give it away? It's just very, very poor. And I thought you guys at home might at least show something. And it's just same old United. And for me, I want to ask you almost like, what do you feel? Obviously, Ruben Amorim this week has kind of been confirmed. How much does he have to do after kind of seeing this? Because obviously, I think last game you had Van Nistelrooy's first game. It's a bit, we can get up for that type of thing. Ruben Amorim's going to be here for a while, I imagine. How big is this job going to be? And what does he have to do?
I mean, so much of it comes down because we all know the player quality hasn't been good, but Ten Hag was making us too easy to beat. You know what I mean? Everyone knows about the 3-1-6, all of that type of stuff. It was a mess. Counter-attacks galore, open space, running through our midfield. It was a complete mess. First and foremost, even Van Nistelrooy came and did it a little bit. Make us a little bit more compact, make us a little bit harder to beat. But the biggest difficulty he's going to have is, how is this team going to score goals? This team has scored 9 goals in the league. 9, 2 more than is it Southampton, who have scored 7. Or is Everton, whoever it is. Scored 9 goals. Maybe even 2 of them might have even been penalties. We are not going forward really bad. Big chances missed. I think we might be top of that. He's going to have to find a way of getting these guys to put the ball in the back of the net. And that's going to be a difficult job. I don't think we're really going to dip into the market in January. It's going to be hard for him. But yeah, I mean, but in terms of, I think he'll change the formation. Then there'll be like a proper new manager bounce and stuff. He could have a little way going. Like, you don't have to make Man United.
That's what I feel like it's going to be. You have had a lot of investment almost over the past year or so with Ten Hag. And I feel like he's going to have to work with a lot of the same players. At the moment, I'm looking at his sporting side as well. I think they've got 35 goals, 10 in 10 games.
Who's that?
But you've got
half of that's Gyökeres.
You've got
do you know what I mean? He's got 20 goals already
over there. But you've got Højlund, who spent 70 million on. You've got Xerxes, who people are saying is a young talent. Before he came, everybody was excited about. But you kind of think this is a big job he's going to be walking into, and it's like
a big job. It's a big job. We need an overhaul.
So Jim hinted at that when I asked him.
There we
basically, he was saying that in comparative to other sports, you can't win the Formula 1 unless you've got a winning car. You can put the best driver in like a rubbish car, he's not going to win. The squad is not out of place to win. But what I find really interesting is a lot of people are coming out in the last few weeks and saying that the Van Nistelrooy thing, as we said, second game in, it felt like a natural move that he would take over for a little bit. You start looking at your signings now, bringing in a centre-half, bringing in this. Was it sort of loosely preparing for a manager that's going to come in and maybe need more personnel, like 3 defenders at the back, etc.? We will never know whether that was the case or not. But what you definitely saw today already was, as you said, we said it for Liverpool last year, when it's tough, can you make small things that make it a bit difficult for you to play against? that's what I saw today. Chelsea weren't great. We lacked cutting edge. I watched the game with a few people and I was saying that we're probably going to have to score from outside the box, which I don't see often because we just can't get in and around it. The issue that Chelsea have now is the Liverpool game was a performance that people say was a good performance, didn't capitalise. United, same thing. Arsenal, at some point, you have to get over that hurdle when it comes to these sort of games.
Who's that? Chelsea?
Yeah, you have to get over that sort of hurdle.
Yeah.
It's great having potential, but potential has to turn into something actual. I feel like we've performed really well. We're in a situation where we're level on points with Arsenal and Villa, despite them getting hammered. If you want to start actually trying to get away from the pack and be in a decent position, you have to take these chances. This was a wounded animal you're playing against.
So I mean, if you're going to need to do that, then you're going to need the best player in your team to perform. And at Anfield, he was nowhere to be seen. And today, he was nowhere to be seen. And if we're going to give him the praise and talk about him weekly, we have to talk about him in these games. Because against Liverpool, I said, do you know what? Everyone's trying to jump the gun now. You know what I mean? They've been waiting for it. But now it's at Old Trafford again, and you guys have Arsenal, is it, next week?
Yep.
Yo, if he goes 3 games with absolutely zero influence in all of them, then, you know what I mean, people are going to start looking like all the praise about people saying he's the best in the league. I've never been on that train. I think he's one of the best players now. I'll probably have him in the top 10, but one of the best in the league. Yeah. When Mo Salah comes, good night. When KDB comes, good night. When Van Dijk comes, clean sheet, please. You know what I mean? Whoever it is, they do